Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So I'm here with hopefully a Flip Through Friday if I get this filmed and uploaded in time. Flip Through Friday is a fun sort of collaboration that Christina's Shack hosts, and it's great to use when you finish a journal on Fridays, and it's been a little while. So I actually have two journals today that are crow, blackbird, raven kind of themed. Each is a little different, well, a lot different actually. So I want to show the first one to you in this video. This is Woman Chased by Crows. And this journal is made inside the actual book. This is the original book cover, but I've done a lot of mixed media to it. You can see we have a crow here and here. The cover was like a dull gray, but I've done a lot of fun mixed media. I've used a lot of mediums on here. It's sort of hard to know where to begin to tell you what I did, but you can see that the picture here, it has an iridescent sparkle to it. So that's holographic embossing. This is a woman. There are crows all around her. And this is some really beautiful black lace that I've used silver gilding wax, and I heated it to make it permanent. This is a bird that I did in a mold with resin, and it's been painted. We've added some lace here, and I've got also some gilding on it with the silver gilding wax. It's bradded onto the book there with a hammered brad, and then I've added this little book plate here with a little tiny label inside that's got some fun crackly marking on it that I stamped, and this little crow here. So you'll see this is like sort of a thatchy gray matte soft feeling book. I've done some stamping with this fine net kind of stamp. This is a die cut of a crow, and it's been embossed holographic as well. I wanted kind of a unique feel to this book, kind of a bit of mystique to it. The eyelets are black, and that's how you do the closure. And then we have this seam binding that's like a silvery tone. So let's jump in. This is 5 signatures, this book. I forget how many pages. It's around here somewhere. It will be in the Etsy listing. So as with all my journals, they go to Patreon first, and then they go to Etsy. So that being said, the end papers are these beautiful blue alcohol ink papers, and inside the front I have an actual crow feather that I've gathered from my walks and I've washed. This is a little quote down here on the pocket from my Blackbird Words freebie that if you haven't gotten it, you can get it on my Ko-fi. It's the quote from the Beatles song Blackbird. Blackbird singing in the dead of night, take these broken wings and learn to fly all your life. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. I've used black silk as the backing here for the spine. And on the inside, I've added these Miles Beyond the Moon cabinet card backings. And then this crow on this one, and this is like a little shaker card. It's very glitzy and fun, and it also pops in there along with the crow feather. And yeah, the crow feather is just really pretty, and it's got a very velvety feel to it. It's really kind of a nice found object. So here we are with Woman Chased by Crows. This is the original first page of the book, and I've added this fun paper doll. This is by Studioloo on Etsy. Then we have this mirror pocket, because we know that these birds like shiny things, right? And I'll just cover it so it's not shining in your eyes. Then we have this little crow in a hat, and inside at the back here you'll see the copyright 2012 of the book by Mark Strange. And then this is a collage tag that I made, and this little library card that I also made. And they just go in the pocket. I've used some journal pages from Miles Beyond the Moon. She has a crow themed kit. This is one of those pages. Little birds feeding their babies here. This is some of my hand dyed paper. Full moon fills in power lines, crows fly off. This little pocket here, and this is a contract bridge score pad with this kind of crow girl here on the front. You can journal on the back, and some darker botanicals back there. some milkweed, and I like how the milkweed and the wing kind of like come together. This is one of my digital wings that I made for a project a long time ago. Then this is a little crow here. We have this is one of the slightly different bird. It's like a white crow that is on this collage pocket, and some gray paper with some paper washi going around it there. Then this little collage tag. Another page from Miles Beyond the Moon. This is a little botanical sticker with a real flower inside. How sweet the harmonies of afternoon, the blackbird sings along the sunny breeze, his ancient song of leaves and summer boon. Rich breath of hayfields streams through whispering trees, and birds of morning trim their bustling wings and listen fondly while the blackbird sings. And that is by Tennyson. This is some of my hand-dyed paper. Cruel birds, ravens, but wise, and creatures should be loved for their wisdom if they cannot be loved for kindness. That's a quote from Hannah Kent. And then this is some crows in the center here. I forget where I got that digital from. As the crow flies. This is cut out of a children's book. Then this is a belly band here. A little collaging. This is from a very old book, and these are crows. There's a little label that goes over the top of the page here, and a little feather here, the other side of that wing. This is a rook card from a rook game that I thrifted, the other side of the milkweed. And this is one of my digitals. I have this collection called Crows and the Little Men Who Love Them. And so it's a little kit to create these 4 little men, and they're all wearing these pockety little suits. And so it comes with pages of crows, and you cut the pockets open and you can put these guys in the pockets, and they could be journal cards that pull out. In this case I glued them in though, just because. I go back and forth how I do that. We have this little collage pocket here, and inside this crow tag and this little crow shaker with a crow sitting on a skull. Some more darker botanicals back there from a botanical book. This is some paper that I dyed. This is an image from Miles Beyond the Moon for little crow kids. This is a botanical page that I added this blackbird to on a Miles Beyond the Moon page. This is the original sort of opening title page of Woman Chased by Crows. And this is a crow digital, Miles Beyond the Moon. This is some of my hand-dyed paper with this lace and gray hue to it. It's like Frosty Windows is the name of this digital. Or not digital, sorry. Paper pack, because I actually sell the physical papers in my shop. This is Miles Beyond the Moon. My love, she's like some raven at my window with a broken wing, Bob Dylan. This is cabbage dyed paper. A little tuck spot on some beautiful paper. That was actually from the front of a large book. And then this is a piece that I made, I think, in a Tuesday 10 or another video. Oh, no, in a color cube video. So this is collaged, and it says, crows are more sincere than they look. You know, Aki. So it's just a fun journal card. These are pages from a book. What is it about? So it was a French comic kind of graphic novel book, and these are like the bad guys, and they're based on crows. And this is a little tuck spot here, and inside of it we have this little collage. I found this image in an old book. I don't know who this gentleman is, but I added a crow to his shoulder. And this fun page, the crows fly away but return the next day. This is some of my blue dyed paper. Another crow page. This is a little sort of shakery pocket. It's got all sorts of glitz inside. And then this these are pieces from Miles Beyond the Moon, and I added this crow back there. Little journal card. And an acetate pocket of a clock. Back there we have a crow, and then this says a sure sense. And this was a piece of art from someone. It's cut from a magazine. More blue dyed paper. This is a little piece, I think, from Miles Beyond the Moon, and then this was from a field guide, and I like that it was called Brewer's Blackbird, and she's, brewed some tea, and she's got some blackbirds there. And a little journal tag. This image, I forget where these came from. I've used some random digital pages in here, so I don't keep track of all of them. Then a botanical page. This was from another of those French comic books, and there's all these crows kind of flying around this tower. On the limb of an old oak sat a cunning old crow and chatted away with glee as he saw the old farmer go out to sow, and he cried, "It's all for me." This green page is the other side of that front page from that book. This big beautiful tag is from Priscilla at Release the Craftin from one of her kits. More cabbage dye paper. This little scene here of crows at a birthday party. Crow looking at a window on some fun paper background from Miles Beyond the Moon. And then this is one of my images. Another of my dyed papers, Miles Beyond the Moon. This is another of my images, and this is from a field guide. This is one of by J. Lilu's paper dolls. Some more blue dyed paper. This was a piece of art that I originally did in high school. It's very, very old for my sketchbook, and it was just a pencil drawing, and I think it was during a Tuesday 10 that I kind of zhuzhed it up by painting it and overdrawing it, and then I collaged it, added these crows, some nice labels from the Junk Journal Studio, and made it into like a tip up for this mirrored page, because birds like reflective things, right? So, but it tones it down a little, so it's not so in your face. And then we have this crow landing here. This is from Glenn Lote's book. Then a collaged pocket with this tag here that's collaged. Another Junk Journal Studio tag, and some stitching at the top there. And these are images. This is from Miles Beyond the Moon, and that's from my crow kit. And another of those comic book crow-inspired bad guys. Some nice brown paper. Little crow there. This was from a Glenn Lote's book where he used little crows in his logo to kind of separate the chapters. And one of my dyed papers. This is from a field guide book, a large format one, maybe an Audubon one. "Every flight begins with a fall," the crow said. This little crow pocket here, and we have this map. "If crow speaks to the fox, he speaks to him from the top of the tree." Collage pocket there. Miles Beyond the Moon, little crow people. Some of my dyed paper. Black-billed magpie, American crow, common raven, and a horned lark, just for fun. This is from a field guide. Some of my purple dyed paper. This pocket is from Release the Craftin, and this tag goes inside. It's collaged on back as well. A little bit of writing space there, just extra. Are we stuck? No, there we go. "Music puts me in touch with life's energy, and death still hanging like an old crow on the vines of my mind." Hannah Abby Aki. This is a little Miles Beyond the Moon image of crows having a little tea party here in a pocket on that map image. And this was cut from a magazine. It's just a lovely blackbird there. This is from I think a Glenn Lote's book. Yeah, and all these crows coming down on these pumpkins. Some of my hand-dyed paper. This is like an acetate sticker, and it's really lovely. It's like basically like if there was a fairy with crow feathers and all these kind of fall leaves around. Crow paced back and forth, his form flickering like flame. Another beautiful image here from George R.R. Martin. "Some battles are won with swords and spears, others with quills and ravens." Another field guide page from the Audubon book. This is a page that's been collaged with this big wall sticker of a dream catcher and some feathers, and I've added a Miles Beyond the Moon tag there for a little bit of fun writing space. That's another piece of that same large acetate sticker with another of these sort of fairies that remind me of crows, and this one has more green tones in it. And an Edgar Allan Poe quote. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou, I said, art sure no craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven wandering from the nightly shore, tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. This is from Miles Beyond the Moon, and it's blacks, like the different shades of black. And these are rub-ons. I just really liked them. I thought they would go nicely with this. Another of those mirrored pages, and it's fun because we have this collage pocket of a crow looking at its reflection, and then this collaged tag inside on one of my jelly prints, hand-dyed paper, a botanical page, silky crow from a bird book, Audubon Birds. This is also from my kit, the Little Old Men and the Crows Who Love Them, and these little guys, they don't come out, but they're not glued fully down, so there's a bit of dimension to them, and that's a pocket, and it holds on to this journal card here that I made from one of those Victorian floral photo albums with some lilacs there. This is a Miles Beyond the Moon image. I've got some book spine, and this quote is from James Arbar from the film The Crow. People once believed that when someone dies, a crow carries their soul to the land of the dead, but sometimes something so bad happens that a terrible sadness is carried with it, and the soul can't rest. Then sometimes, just sometimes, the crow can bring that soul back to put the wrong things right. And it's on some boiled book paper that was dyed with roses and eucalyptus. Then this crow wreath page, writing space. A little sort of 3D fun clock there. And this is a tip down. This was an art image from an art book, and I stitched around it and added some yellow lace to go with that yellow background. And then that tips down for more writing on that cabbage dyed paper. More of my hand dyed paper. Miles Beyond the Moon page. This is a little acetate sticker of this lovely flower. And then more of my hand dyed paper with lace. This is a very old vintage playing card. It's got an Art Deco feel to it. It's beautiful. These are like treasures, and I add like one to each journal. Then this background is from Miles Beyond the Moon. This is the Starling from Edith Holden's Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady. This is a little sticker by Botero, an image by Botero, one of my favorite artists, and it's this lady in this black gown, and then it's with a Danish proverb, one raven does not peck out another's eyes. Some cabbage dyed paper, a collage page. So now I sit beneath the banyan tree with humility, devotion, and tranquility to listen, learn, and experience the songs of the rooks. This is a lovely tree of life image that came out of an Indigenous art book, and it's got all these different birds flying around it, from an eagle to a hawk to like all these different black birds. The other side of that collage page, and this little sticker of a feather. Cabbage dyed paper, just some nice botanicals. This is a collage pocket here. There is a bird who by his coat and by the hoarseness of his note might be supposed a crow, a great frequenter of the church, where bishop like he finds a perch, and dormitory too. And then this is from a box of the Rook card game, and it's just a little journal card. More of my dyed paper. A little moon here. This is an image from Miles Beyond the Moon. A foldout of my dyed paper, splattered on one side and fractal on the other. Some cabbage dyed paper. A little collage that I did with some library card and botanicals. This is a vintage rook card. this image behind it, and then this is a journal card that I collaged. This was a book image. I added a crow. On a bare branch, a crow is perched, autumn evening. More of the botanical boiled book page with roses and eucalyptus. This is vellum, so this image is on vellum. This is a little cutout of from like a field guide that describes the behavior of a crow, and it's on this lovely sunflower background from Miles Beyond the Moon. And this is an authentic piece of ephemera. So this is an invoice from, or a receipt rather, from 1935, and received from Ray Klopfer Colco, the sum of $1 and $1 to Taylor Forbes Limited. And why is it in here, you wonder? Because the logo has a crow there. And it's just a lovely piece of paper. $1.20. Some little blue flowers. Those are 49 in market cutouts. This is cabbage dye paper. Both of these are. And this is some beautiful marbled paper handmade by thepapertrail.ca. This is from Miles Beyond the Moon. This is my collaging and some of the words from my Bird Words freebie by Thomas Bailey Aldrich. Day is a snow-white dove of heaven that from the east glad message brings. Night is a stealthy evil raven wrapped to the eyes in his black wings. And underneath we have another quote from Dean Koontz. Sorrow is not a raven perched persistently above a chamber door. Sorrow is a thing with teeth, and while in time it retreats, it comes back at the whisper of its name. And another lovely 49 in market laser cut botanical, and some of my dyed paper. This is an image from Miles Beyond the Moon, the cabinet card, and I added this crow there. And this is a page from a book called Nightmares in the Sky. And I thought, like, when you think about crows and ravens, you know, how they're perched up on these high buildings with gargoyles. So this was a gargoyle book. This is a journal tag that just tucks in there. There's half of a gargoyle there, and you can see his eye. Some marbled paper. This is a collaged belly band, and it's got this image inside. That just tucks in there. And then over here it's a black page, so great for writing with a gel pen, and a couple of labels here. Another of my hand-dyed papers, and a little collage. This lovely image, and some cabbage dyed paper, again with the cabbage dyed paper. Another little collage, and over here the sunflower paper, and this tag is from Release the Crafted. And the last page is again that beautiful vellum, and the back has been kept simple, just with my little seal and a little bit of the crow feather there. So that is the end of The Woman Chased by Crows. I thank you so much for joining me for this little flip through of this book. If you are seeing the video, that means that this has been posted to my Etsy shop. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and we shall talk again very soon. Bye for now.